Welcome back to another episode of Community for All of Us. Welcome, my two great co hosts. Right here is Nikki, and down below is Harold. And if
How's it going?
Will's able to join us, he'll jump in as the live stream is going. But I hope everyone has had a great weekend. Um, I'm still recovering from the small procedure that I had injections into um, my SI joint and my back. Nikki actually had the same exact thing. So we've been pretty much laid around this week, not doing anything. We wanted to go to the river while it was nice. That hasn't happened yet. Still got to go and get the mail. Have a transformer in the mail, which is now called Vinny. He used to be called Venom, and it's an Insecticon. So we do have that. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing all right, man. Hope y'all are.
We are.
Pretty
We
good.
are. Very good. Hadn't got a chance to play Fortnite. I only got on Fortnite quickly to use my V-Bucks to get the Batmobile.
Oh yes,
So
I
I
saw.
actually got. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I saw the trailer you sent me of the new Batmobile on Fortnite, the '89 model, I believe it was.
It is. It is the '89 model.
Michael Keaton Batman.
It is. I couldn't pass it up. I'm a huge Batman fan. He's one of my
Oh
favorite
yes.
characters. And so when I saw that this was supposed to come last season, and it was for some reason pushed back. And I think the reason why is because you have Batman Day coming up, which was on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, and so that's
Mm-hmm.
when it dropped. I went on immediately. I don't have to worry about Batman Day because my guy at the comic book shop hooks us up since he knows that I love Batman. He makes sure that I get pretty much anything and everything that is Batman. So but yeah, pretty excited. It's been a interesting weekend. Me and Nikki's been laid up. We slept all day today, didn't we, baby girl?
And it was nice.
It was like Nikki was like, "What are we doing today?" I said, "Well, yesterday we got out in that heat. We painted us some Warhammer. We put the main coat on, and then the primer coat on the figures, and then yesterday I painted." And I went to go look, Nikki. It was actually 19 models that I not only put together but painted, and I'm now at the final stages of my Warhammer Chaos Deathcore group, the Nurgles, being completely done. So pretty excited about that because we have the Tyranids now. We have the part that goes with Nurgle with the chaos, and then we got regular Ultramarines that we're discussing how we're going to paint those. Because I think we're going to go Salamander, and then um, what else do we have? We got Deathcore Creek,
We had some
and
orcs.
oh yes, the Orcs, which is what me and Nikki are working on together. So we counted. We have over 132 mini models that we have put together, clipped out, glued, and gave everybody their first primer on there. So yeah. Um, so we're doing our army building. We're creating a whole universe. We actually talked about making like a what was it, battle scenes with it eventually for the room.
We
Mm-hmm.
have we have some battle scenes we haven't put together yet.
Oh, that's right. We do. That we do.
We
We
just
do. I
have to.
forgot we have the
I
cynical
think
and
I know where they are. I put them in a box because the box they came in was destroyed, so we had to put them in a different box. Um, but we we were doing the miniatures first. 'Cause we didn't really have a place to set up the environments yet. Anyway,
yeah. So we're wanting to do that. The winter's getting here, so I'll be able to do more. And then if you haven't seen or checked out, I actually got in cable and I did a review on him, and the review went longer than I wanted it to go because I felt that I needed. So I'm gonna make my screen bigger. So here is cable. He looks really good. I mean, this is exactly how I want my cable to look, with big guns and everything. But Hasbro with materials, the look. It's the only figure I've ever taken out of my box that I wish I had left it in the box. If that lets you know how sad I am about it. He is just a very uh like soft plastic. And then I noticed right there that gap that you see, his hair doesn't even connect completely to his scalp. So there's some issues here. I don't see how
Mhm.
Hasbro can justify saying that, hey, this is a $27.99 figure when I get stuff from Valorverse and other independent toy companies for the same price, such as the Animal Warrior Kingdom, and the figures are a lot. They're really made better than what this. And I haven't bought a Legend scale in a long time, so I don't know if that's how it is. And the quality of it is not the same as their GI Joe. That's what Nikki and I were talking about. It's like no butterfly joint, basic articulation, something you would have probably got back 20 years ago and be like, oh my God, this is awesome. But with where how far toys have come innovated lately, um, it was kind of like, all right, you you dropped the ball on this one, and so
Mhm.
yeah, big Cable fan. It's one of my favorite characters out of the X-Men. Nikki loves Deadpool. I love Cable. We collected a
Mhm.
book together that had Deadpool and Cable. I wish that book was still going. It was so funny seeing those two play off each other. But
Mhm.
yeah, so has anybody got anything else new? Did anything else new come in for anybody?
I haven't got anything, but I have been sitting on some news. You guys knew about it, but it hasn't went, public until today.
Ah,
Uh, I will be getting ordained as a deacon this weekend at my church. Uh,
that is awesome.
That's
so it is
awesome.
official. Thank you
Con-
guys.
Congratulations, man. Now that's a huge role.
Yes,
Um,
yes, sir. Thank you.
yeah. So, and that is that there are certain requirements that you got to be over
Hmm.
your household. Your kids have to be well mannered and not subject to strong drink and stuff like that. So that is a lot of people don't know the importance of a deacon. Is to get the support to the pastor of the church and to the community. And I know you
Yep.
already do a lot of that. So
Yep.
that
If
is
if
congratulations.
somebody needs something in our church, it's goes up to the deacons. We are supposed to you know see how pressing of an issue that is, I guess, and then like if somebody needs a wheelchair ramp versus whatever, we try to make sure that person gets a wheelchair ramp or whatever.
That's awesome. That's the way it's supposed to be. Supposed to be with the community. Supposed
Mm-hmm.
to help out with the people that are shut-ins and stuff like that. 'Cause me and Nick here to pretty much shut-ins, but and we're literally in
Exactly.
between four churches, and one of the churches is their home church, and we've not ever heard anything from any of the churches. Even though we know people in the community, and they knew I was a minister. Um, so when I hear that, I'm like, that means a lot because I feel like, and I'm not going to get too preachy in our podcast, but I just think that community. now more than ever, our communities really need to come together, help each other. So that's really cool. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
very happy to hear that. And after the show, I want to get more details because if me and Nikki are able to, we like to try and come and see you get uh prayed over and then and take your at your church. So we'll see what we can try and do about
Awesome.
that. Awesome. So that's
Thank you.
great. What about you, Nikki? Have you got anything new?
I did, but I forgot to bring it with me. And I don't
What
know if I
what,
can
what
get there from here.
do you want me to go grab it?
Yeah.
All right, you gotta take over talking. It can't have dead air
Oh
now.
no. Oh no.
Yep,
Maybe I'll
yep.
go get it.
Nope. Too late. Too late. You can't. I'm gonna take myself out. Y'all keep talking while I'm gone.
Oh no. No. Oh. Haha.
Oh.
You made hear all the big.
Well, now.
There we go. That must be what he meant to do in the first place. I do have something that came in that's related to the same um cable figure that Derek got,
Hmm.
and I really like her. It's a female character. I'm trying to make till he gets it, so it's kind of a surprise. But I've liked her for a long time. It's not normally a character that I've collected per se, but I just really liked her, and I remember watching her when I was in high school.
Hmm.
They had a show, and actually this one came from the '97 line, but she still is very similar to the one I watched back in '93. Do you know where? Oh, I thought you were bringing me the other lady. Are you gonna bring me with her too? Okay, this is one of them. Probably when Derek gets back, he's gonna make it big. This is actually the Warhammer figure that I just
Hmm.
got. I'm gonna talk about it in a second, but here's the figure that it's Jubilee.
Oh, now that's cool.
I really liked her. I
Yeah,
remember
Jubilee was
watching.
all.
Yes, I really, really liked her. There was an X-Men cartoon in like, gosh, it had to be before I graduated high school, so like '93 or something
Hmm.
like that. And I love watching this. In fact, I didn't know anything about comics, but whenever Derek took me to the comic book store for the first time, I was like, oh, I know who Wolverine is. He's one of my favorites. And I like Jubilee too. And he was like, really? How do you know that? And I was like, I watched the cartoon back, when I was in high school for that matter. It should have been too old for me, but I mean, I loved cartoons. I'd watch everything that my brother would. I have a twin brother that's my same age. And so we would have to share the TV. So if
Hmm.
TV was on, we get to pick, and there was always like a My Little Pony, and then like a G.I. Joe, and sometimes it'd be like um, Rainbow Bright and Transformers. There was always like a girl show and a boy show back to back, like in the afternoon, and so that's when I watched it. And so that's the Jubilee. I don't know if I want to take her out. Derek was disappointed he took his out, and I'm not ready to take mine out. If it's made similar, it's just gonna be like, but she doesn't have heavy guns she's having to hold up, so I haven't decided yet. But I thought she looked really great. I like the head sculpt on it, and I like all the cool um, blast effects for her powers and stuff that came with it. It
Oh yeah.
came in a series of other characters. Emma Frost we were looking for, and also Sunspot, Morph, and then Logan are the other characters in this particular line right here. So I'm really excited about her. And Derek got me as a surprise. He got me. I forgot her name. This is Adeptus Senoritas or something. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I actually got her figure, like the one you put together in paint. And this is her staff. This is not even a figure. This is like her standard that she holds up. It's
Hmm.
bigger than she is, but she's beautiful. I love that they all have this. She's got a hood on, but they have white hair
Hmm.
and those combat boots. And I don't know. I just like the way she looks. And that's very intimidating, you know. Even if she wasn't intimidating, you know, you see this thing coming, you're like, oh, who's this thing? I better stay away. She might have magical powers.
And that's from what figure line there?
This is Warhammer 40K.
Oh, Warhammer
Oh,
40K. Okay.
Yeah.
oh,
So she's
I
one of the line of Adeptus.
yeah,
And she doesn't hold up her staff. Like this thing,
oh
I think
god,
it's
that thing's
too
heavy.
her her tiny little hands just can't hold it up. So we might have to do some kind of rubber band, like say
Yeah,
rubber band, like attach it, and then we're gonna have to
yeah,
put some kind of thing on the bottom so her stand has a place to like, you know, stay put essentially.
Hmm.
But yeah,
so that was the two things that it was supposed to be a surprise, but I got it from Shozy Toys, and with Shozy Toys I have to use PayPal. So Nikki got to notice that, um but she
PayPal
was doing it, and
vendors.
I was like, so but yeah. So tonight's show is again going back on the topic of AI. And the reason why I was like, want to go back on this topic, oh, there's Nez and May. It's a fact, and thank everybody for this watching or uh in there. Anytime you want to interact with us through the chat, just please do so. If you ever want to be a guest for the show, just hit me up in the messages down below or at autocorrectprimer@gmail.com, and just sit there and say, hey, I'd love to be a guest. I am working on trying to get 2 people as guests, but because uh, timing and stuff like that, it has not worked out. But I do have hopefully 2 guests that will be here soon. One that is from Canada, where I want to have him on so that he'll talk about how the pricing, like he liked our video last week where we were talking about the pricing of Hasbro, kind of when is the madness going to stop? And he was
Hmm.
like telling me that up there now, what we have here is $27.99, is almost $50 in Canada. So can you imagine getting this action figure here and being $50 it's just crazy. So the first thing I want to show, as Revan is now trying to get in here. Hey, buddy. What's up, big guy? Huh? So one thing that I want to talk about, and I kind of want to get y'all's take on this, is how do y'all feel about this right here? Hey, Revan, where are we going? Oh, Revan, I love you, buddy. So we're going to take a look at this right here. A lot of people are not too happy with this right now. As a matter of fact, people are calling this uh, Marvel fans slam the ghoulish LA Comic Con decision to resurrect Stan Lee via an AI program and charging $20 now for 3 minutes.
Mm.
3 minutes to be able to talk to an AI Stan Lee. What's
Mm.
your thoughts, first and foremost?
Well, first off, if I want to talk to a Stan Lee, I want to talk to the real Stan Lee. You know, back when he was still living, and not some AI generated. You know,
Exactly. I
that's
had a
just odd to me.
yeah. I had the privilege of getting to meet Stan Lee and bumping into him as his bodyguard was about to body slam me.
Oh
Um,
crap!
Yeah, it really did happen.
yeah, okay. We were at Charlotte Comic Con in Charlotte, North
Heroes
Carolina.
hard art to find.
Thank you. Revan's trying to go after my cord, so I kind of lost my. So we were at Heroes Hard, not Hard Fun, in Charlotte, North Carolina. And as we were there, it was at the end of the show. I was one of the artists. I had been asked to do a art piece for the auction. So I actually, before Scotty Young ever came into the picture, Undercut Primer Derek did the babies, and they were all standing around Stan Lee. So I drew Stan Lee, and I drew all the little miniature, like the Hulk. It was Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Spider Man, and try to remember which female it was, but there was a female one, and I want to say it was Jean Grey, because I was trying to get representation of all the characters. Oh, and also the Thing, little baby Thing, and
Oh man.
um, so Stan Lee was in the middle. All the babies were around him and saying, Papa. Um, so as I was taking the artwork, trying to get it into the auction, um, Nikki and another friend of ours at the time, uh, we were leaving because we were like, we're not going to stay for the whole auction. We're going to get ready to leave. Well, I saw Shelton, and I wanted to tell him thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be able to put this artwork into the auction. And really nice guy. So I want to make sure I gave my thanks to him. He's the owner and the one that runs it all. As I'm
Hmm.
going over the beeline to shake his hand, I don't realize that Stan Lee that is right behind him. Not at all. I didn't even see Stan Lee at all. And as that happened, Stan Lee, his bodyguard, this big, massive man, comes like beelining, like I'm getting ready to be checked in hockey. Um, and Shelton was like, no, 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 I know him, I know him. This is Derek. He's fine, he's fine. And then with that, I got to meet Stan Lee. And I got
Oh.
to tell Stan Lee, thank you so much for creating these characters. Thank you so much for creating this stuff, because a kid that was illiterate learned how to read from comic books. And from that, comic books has been a big part of my life. He got to see the artwork, um, which was again amazing. And so that was my time of bumping into Stan Lee.
That
So
is awesome.
yeah,
He was
Although I'm
really
pretty
nice
sure
too.
the bodyguard beelining like he's gonna body slam you, I'm pretty sure that was scary as crap. So
it was, and I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now. So
hmm
one of us would have been, if he did it, I'd have wrapped up like I did. We both gone 300-pound Derek would gone down with him. But yeah, he would have hit Jabba the Hutt. I've been like the blob. So,
the blob.
but yeah, no, so seeing this, this rubs me personally the wrong way,
Hmm.
um, because I know what Stanley went through at the end of his life. He
Hmm.
never was allowed to rest. He, at the very end, they were carting him everywhere. And he would want to just sit and rest a little bit. And they'd be like, nope, you got more signings to do. And they rode him at the end of his life. And especially when Disney got hold of Marvel, um,
Hmm.
they exploited him at the end of his life. And
Yeah.
to me, that was the thing that was very disheartening to see and stuff. So seeing this, I hope it fails. Honestly, I really do. I think this is bad taste.
Hmm.
Uh, that's
I,
my
Well,
I,
personal
I
opinion.
agree.
I would have some questions.
All
One
right.
of the questions would be like, okay, who gets the proceeds from the interaction between you and Stanley? Who gave permission? I mean, I'm sure his family did, you know. Who gave permission to have his likeness be assimilated, essentially, and
Yeah.
used like this? Um, is that, and I also wonder, did the family approach a technology company, or did this technology company approach the family? I would need to know information like that. I would also need to know if Stanley left it in his will that his likeness could be portrayed like this. So that are some things that you can put in your will. You can be like, you can't use my likeness or image for blah 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 blah. I would think that a lot of public figures have those types of wills. So I would need to know some of that information first.
And
And
the motive
yeah,
behind it.
motive. I mean, it's money. But if Stanley was okay, he was like, yes, you can use my likeness. This is a really cool technology. I want you to do this. You know, maybe. You know what I'm saying? It would obviously
Mm.
be weird. Like if you were the family member that knew him the best and you went up to this thing and interacted, would you be
Like,
like, okay, that's him, or is that not him?
now, see, this is where I'm going to have to go. I'll have to do more research, but apparently, this is called Cartoon Studios had a Stanley's Legacy program. They're saying that they're not going to put any words in his mouth that he hadn't already talked about. Um, but again, the question is that, w- are we not letting the dead rest?
We're not.
Um,
Exactly.
I mean, are we? I mean, he wasn't a fictitious character. He's a real person. Um, on top of that, you're charging 20 minutes or 3 minutes time. Why is there that type of time limit that's being given? Um, and that's what a lot of people are asking. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, this is tasteless. This is not right." And you're claiming that you're doing this in honor of Stan Lee, but yet, are you really? Is that really going, or is that your
Yeah,
true
that sounds
motive?
like more of a cash grab and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not even going to bother to say right now because that's
Yeah,
that
I mean
I
that.
agree that is tasteless. I mean,
And where does it end? I mean, I know James Earl Jones gave the rights to his voice
right.
to be allowed to be AI generated and used for Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know he did that, but that again is the voice, and that gives him the whole thing. Well, what happens with like Peter Cullen if something happens? He's the one that voices Optimus Prime. What happens?
Mm-hmm.
Do we then get his voice AI generated so Optimus sounds that same way forever? Um, this is the slippery slope that I'm seeing coming from AI, is because, are you going to start having Michael Jackson? Are you going to have Tupac? Will any entertainer? What about Bruce Willis? Because I mean, right now
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Willis is dealing with some health issues, and his mental capacity is not well because dementia is really taking over him completely. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people were giving his daughters a hard time, but they were sharing their walk with their father during this time. And Bruce Willis had said on camera, I want my daughters to be able to document this. So this is what they want to do to help with their process of what's happening with me. Um, so Bruce Willis is able to speak for himself. So is James Earl Jones before he passed. He signed over and said, yes, that could be for Darth Vader. But I have not seen anything on the comic book side of this, and that has said that Stan Lee was like, yes, Excelsior! I want my likeness and my body to just go forever into infinity and beyond. But this is just one of the topics tonight, guys. We got some more that we're going to look into. But I wanted y'all to see this and recognize that AI is not going away,
Right.
and it yeah, it looks like we're going to be going full throttle. So one thing I want to do is pull up. Yeah, let me do this one here first. I'll pull this one up first. So a thing that's been moving around right now is Disney and and Marvel Comics and other um, studios are looking to start generating, and I'll show it to you in a minute, generating AI posters. But this is some of the things that AI is doing is artwork, and it's beautiful. But
Yeah.
then again, it's not AI artwork is not being creative. It is using what's already out there. Just to give you a thing with the Mona Lisa, this is how AI generated what she actually would look like
Mm-hmm.
um, if she existed. Uh, you got the realistic part of AI, where people are now in other countries are actually starting to date these AI programs. And
Mm-hmm.
some people are saying you can't tell the difference between AI generated artwork and reality. What as an art teacher, what do you think about this, Nikki?
Well, I think we even touched on it last week a little bit. Is and this is what I found out. I either read it somewhere. Is that the artwork that AI is generating is really not quite from their imagination. They're pulling from the internet. They're grabbing little bits here and there and comprising a picture, which I don't know what the law says now, but when I was teaching, we had a whole copyright session we did just to make sure that we knew that, in writing or in art. Um, but it used to be if you changed 20% of an artwork, it could be yours. And there was this movement back in the day called Dada. And I know it sounds crazy. And if you're not in the art world, you'll think that's a made up name. But, well, it kind of is a made up name. But they would take random everyday objects and call them art, which I'm of the thinking that that can be true. I feel like art is a thought process and not just a visual. Um, so what's happening here is they're kind of taking the same thing is they're taking parts from other people's artwork. So when you ask for AI to generate, like, I want a camel riding a golf cart or something like that, more than likely somebody has already drawn that. And so they go into the internet and they pull images like that and they comprise it. And you're either getting somebody else's image or you're getting other people's images. That's what I've been told. I don't know if that's accurate or not. So really and truly, when you're asking for AI art, you're really asking for a photocopy. And so thinking about it like that, is it really unique? No, it's not unique art. Um, can it be passed off and used for covers? Yeah, it could be. And there are sometimes you can kind of tell that somebody else, like AI, made it, and whereas you use a computer program to make it, so that's also similar. But if we rely on AI to create our art, we're not going to have those those skills. Is essentially what I'm getting at. So the question is, should you use it? It depends on the circumstance, I think. Um, it depends on the reason for using it. But I feel like that if you're going to be creating something that somebody is paying you for, you should create it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
and Dragon Con, a person had used AI artwork and created and made posters, and they were walked off the show floor because there is a policy at Dragon Con that you're not allowed to sell AI generated artwork. It has to be original artwork. But if you take a look at this right here, this is a free AI program for now movie posters that you're going to have your cinematic posters that you can have now made using this AI program. And it used to be an art form. I mean, it used to be somebody actually hand painted these things. And that's not the case anymore. You have realistic AI. I didn't know this, and it's something that I'm going to bring up and let us listen to. But this 3-minute clip really goes into detail dealing with the gaming world. But what I'm saying is that it's now becoming so inundated in everything that it's like, okay, I want a movie poster and I don't want to pay my art department to do it. I'm just going to type it in and have it generated. Um, People like me was hired uh, as art directors in the art department for me to come in, and they wanted to have something that looked like a Van Gogh or something that looked like, a famous artist, but didn't want to pay the rights to have that print in the movie. I would have to come in and create an artwork, not making it identical, but making it in that style. But it was created. I created the artwork. It was my artwork. It was just in that style. Nikki helped me out on a lot of those things at the time, and so that would be someone like me that had that job. That now they don't need me anymore. In all honesty, when you have AI can do it, and you just hit a button, go to your local printing company, they print it out for you just for a movie. And I can understand the cost efficient for this. I mean, you're paying for me to be on set, you're paying for me hourly, you're paying me very well hourly. In some movies where I was making over $100 to $200 $300 an hour, and I was putting in 12-hour shifts that day. So I mean, I can see where this comes in. But one thing that I didn't think would happen at this soon, and that's what we're going to look at here, dealing with games, is this. So we're going to take a listen to what this person, and I'll make sure I have the link. So let me pull this one. Yeah, here it is. So we'll pull this up. Now, this is AI creates a full game from just one sentence, making viral games. So it's AI Border that has this. This went up 3 months ago, and this is just a 3-minute video where you're not having to worry about creating code. The AI is creating the code for you. So let's take a listen to this. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
The games we've played until now all had one thing in common. Everything was preset. No matter how many times you played them again, it was always the same map, the same characters, and the same ending. But with the rise of artificial intelligence, we expect the gaming world to change completely. And that change is happening right now with Zila AI. Not the future, but today. Zila is flipping everything upside down. Here, there are no pre-written stories or locked-in characters. Imagine being in a lucid dream, inside a limitless world where everything is under your control, freely, without physical limits, right in the moment. In Zila, you are not traditional players, but creators. not only playing games, but shaping it by yourself in one sentence. Enjoy the freedom Zila offer to you.
So this is where it's showing it's being built up and downloading. And the thing is that you're looking at.
So, what exactly is Zila? Zila is the world's first multimodal game building model, which can create a complete 3D game just from a simple sentence. You simply type your imagination, and Zila turns it into characters, environments, stories, even voice and dialogue. How does it work? 1. Unified multimodal architecture. Zila can understand text, images, and even 3D scenes all together, and create a living, playable world from them. 2. Massive dataset plus real-time 3D engine. It has been trained on over 10 million instruction response examples and can understand and react to your decisions instantly without delay. 3. Endless real-time remixing. Not only can you play the game, you can keep editing it while playing. Continue the story, change directions, or create something completely new just by typing a sentence. What makes Zila special? Create full 3D worlds using just simple text. No technical skills needed. Characters feel truly alive and respond to you in real time. Full control, speaking or typing. Design personal quests and stories in the moment. A smooth, uninterrupted experience that lets anyone become a game creator. Why does this matter? Until now, AI could make images, sounds, and videos, but all of them were static. Zila takes things one step further. It generates real, interactive games, not just once, but as often as you want. The future that Zila creates. Make a game with just one sentence. Turn players into both creators and gamers at the same time, and a world where there's no line between building and playing. If you want to be one of the first to step into this brand new world, make sure to join the waitlist by clicking the link in the description.
So right there, as you can hear, you're able to create the game immediately from one sentence. Not only that, is that a lot of people, when I was doing research for our show tonight, a lot of things that was coming out was saying that, where you're going into your gameplay and you like the story mode, and then you have to choose, and that choice you make in interacting with the PCs, this will make it where it's endless. Every choice you make, everything you does completely changes the game geared to you as the player. So I see the benefits from this, but what is y'all's thoughts seeing this right now? Nikki, you used to write code. Okay. Don't give us the nerdy side of it, but give us how hard is it to write code?
It's not hard to write code. It's hard to fix the mistakes that you make as you write code.
All right.
Writing
So,
code is like following a recipe. And as you're reading it, you may be like, okay, it says 2 tablespoons of, sugar in your cake recipe or something. That's not enough. But instead you put 2 gallons.
all
And
right.
you're like, and then so you bake your cake, and you're like, wow, this is sweet.
So
So then you had
you
to go back. Oh, I'm sorry, your head.
so you used to build our website back in the day and to put our comic strips up online because that was the only way to do it. Now you can use Wix and other things to do it. It makes it a lot easier. I guess the conspiracy side of me, which comes from my conspiracy side with my podcast that I do, makes me go, if AI is the only one that knows how to write code, who can stop if we don't know how, it's like a dead language. If you don't know how to speak this ancient language, and you come across because I used to deal with archaeology, and my background in Bible history studies and archaeology, and being able to see the Dead Sea Scrolls myself, and being able to look at a dead language and go, people trying to figure out, especially, if you don't have my brain can't think of the Rosetta Stone, to be able to have the Greek so that we would understand what was being said by Egyptian hieroglyphs, we would never know the language that the Egyptians spoke from the artwork that was on the wall. We only got that because we had this link, which was Greek, that we take that Greek and then break it back down to okay, this is what that word here means. What happens if there's no one like me, a translator, any longer? What happens when there's no more translators for code? How do we, is that something to be fearful of or concerned about with this program? I mean, I see the endless possibilities with you, the gamer, being able to create your own immersive content. But what happens to developers? What happens to parts like me that do pen and ink? And now I don't have to worry about doing a movie poster for somebody because they just plug it into AI.
Yeah, that does put, it does raise the question, you know, is that going to put a lot of artists and developers out of work? I mean, that's a very, very gray area.
Yeah, because as a creator, and right now on Twitch, I when I was doing the stuff there was so much stuff I could add for our show tonight because it was just like, bam, it's out there. Because the Trump administration has made it where for the next 10 years there's not going to be any restrictions on how far AI is going to be allowed to advance. So the
Hmm.
administration pointed that out. Twitch streamers are dealing with right now are dealing with um, people using AI artwork and generating AI girls, and you don't know it's a girl that's really behind the keyboard that's generating the conversation, but you're interacting with this inanimate object as if it's a real person, and we're already seeing one, you know, AI is dealing with people can go on AI now and get um psychology where they can sit there and talk to I don't want to say the word shrink because that's
Psychologists or
yes,
psychiatrists
psychology. Yeah, exactly. And now you got
or
AI.
therapists. There are people that are just therapists.
Hmm.
See,
You
I
got
would have probably just said those words or whatever.
yeah. I mean, and then you
Sadly.
got I'm that way too. I'm like, and then you got where um you don't know if you're talking to a real person anymore. What happens if you got kids that's already addicted to games, and
Mm.
there is a true psychosis with it coming to gaming, that there is a thing that kids are now um so wrapped up in a game experience. What happens if they don't want to unplug? And you can
Right.
have this endless AI creating this endless virtual reality, so to speak. I mean, you don't have to write code with this program. That was the thing that shot the crap out of me, is that
Hmm.
it will write it for you. You type in your fantasy, your idea, and it'll generate it. And me being married to my wife who wrote code for us and our book. I mean, we got a book that we're coming out right now that's going to be dealing with Bigfoot, but who, this is something that's taken years for me to draw and write. You're now having AI generated novels being created overnight. I do think that this is going to take away from the creativity. And as Nikki is an art teacher and with School for Art, her husband being in the comic book community and producing and writing and creating our comic strips, I think this is a bad thing. I don't see any creativity wise. I see creativity dying out of this personally. And I hate to be a doomsayer, but I mean, I never thought you would have it where it's going to now write code for you. And not only write code for you, it's going to recreate that code each time you want to add something else to it. You get that experience to go a little bit further. We play Fortnite, and I know that they use AI for Darth Vader to interact with, and he interacted with you through AI, and that was a cool experience. But do y'all want to play games that no longer has to have a developer? I mean, corporations are going to get, richer off of this, but what's y'all's thoughts?
Like I said, that's kind of a gray area because I mean, even though it's going to write that ideal game per se that you would probably want, it does take away, creativity from,
What side do you see, Nikki, as an art teacher from this? Let's say you were having an art contest or was going to be teaching kids the importance of art, and they come into your classroom and go, "Why do I need to know it? I could just type it in and it'll do it for me on AI."
Well, I mean, even as an art teacher, I got, when am I gonna need this? I mean, so
Right.
I try to base my art on things that it could be used as a functional thing. And I would explain, especially those that ask me about it, like if we were drawing objects, like real objects in front of us, why do I need to know that? Because it's very important to understand what you see with your eyes. If you don't know it's there, um, that that is a job skill. I mean, you look at if you work at a restaurant and you look around and you see there's ketchup on all the tables but one, but you look at all and you're like, oh, all the tables have ketchup. I don't need to worry about it. But your boss comes and says, why didn't you put ketchup on the tables? You're like, well, they are. No, what about this one? Oh, I didn't see that one. So even though and relating that back to AI is, like I said, it depends what you're using this image for or art for. And games wise, games are electronic as it is. The video games we play nowadays do not start on paper. Um, they might have a storyboard if they're definitely working on, it's a very heavily based story um, game, but otherwise, I don't have enough information about how creators create games nowadays, but it it's a hard question to answer.
With that, we'll leave it at that for tonight. We'll probably come back to this topic. I don't think it's going to go away. I have a lot more to this topic that we could discuss at a future um, Then you
When you think about it, everybody almost uses some form of AI in their daily life, whether it's Alexa, whether it's Siri, but like you said, it's not going to go away. I mean,
the
it's,
cat's out of the bag. So
yeah,
yeah. So it's definitely going to be a very
Pandora's box is opened.
it is, and I don't think creators and artists fully grasp what this will be for the future. Where we're thinking that we'll be able to use it as a tool, I
hmm
think that corporations are going to use it as a replacement
hmm
to a working body.
and
And
and that's a shame because anything that's made can be used. It can be used for good or bad when you think about it. I mean,
it can, it can. Where,
just like
go ahead.
just like guns.
Yeah,
I don't know if we can, but they should be used for mainly hunting or something like that. But instead, they get used
they can
as
be used
weapons, and
all kind, yeah, and have multiple uses that's good and bad. And
yeah,
and the one thing I see is kind of like with that is what I see with this is that there's a lot of good potential,
hmm
but I used to tell kids, and Nikki would have me as a guest, and I would get to her kids and be like, "Why do I need this?
hmm
Why is this important?" And I would say, "Okay, look at your tennis shoe. Look at the clothes you're wearing. A designer that was an artist
hmm
created that on paper first that you now get to wear on your feet, your shirt. You become a walking billboard because a person that was an artist created that in their mind, put it on paper, and then it got produced.
hmm
With this, I look at it going, they don't need to see a human person anymore. And that's what worries me. Oh, I don't need the human element any longer. So I don't need this anymore. I just need AI to do it for me. So with that, that's where we'll end the show tonight. Again, if any of you would like to be a guest or anything, please hook us up, share with us. And with that, anybody, I know Harold's got a great, wonderful, busy week coming. So
Oh yes.
awesome. Anything else going on?
No, no, no,
Other
no.
than
I know what's going on for me. I'm gonna go to the mailbox, get my transformer out of the mailbox. I'm gonna take my shower, and then I'm gonna get on Fortnite and play with my Batman car as Batman and drive around in my Batman car on Fortnite.
be like na na
That's
na
my
na 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 na.
Batman. All right,
Yes.
guys. Thank y'all so much. Until next time, we'll catch y'all later, and y'all have a great one. Good night, guys.
Night.